So you've edited one of my videos, and
Yeah.
that video I posted on Patreon. And through that video, I actually got another editor because they watched it, and he was like, it was very valuable. So, there's a lot of things we've only talked during that one time you did edit a video. So I'm very curious who you are, Justin. What do you do every day? Is YouTube your main priority?
Yeah. So I think we did talk actually like a month ago or so, but that was like a quick kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I do a ton of stuff right now. I'm trying to get a little bit away from YouTube. I mean, I'm working on another video. It's coming out pretty soon, but I'm trying to go back into editing. I think I will see how it goes. I'm kind of just starting out again, so we'll have to see, I guess.
Okay, so I'm actually more curious, right? So I checked out your newest video. I didn't do it on live stream, but it was it
Okay.
was a it was a it was a strong inspiration from like the Jack Pockets, like the money YouTube channel, if I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
mistaken. Right, and I'm not gonna lie, Justin, that video was good. Like I saw the introduction, I saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail could have been a little bit better for like the cheap one,
Yeah. Right.
but I thought it was a good video, and it didn't perform as well. So I wonder how that like when you were making it, did you think it was good? Was there a little bit of like artist steal? You made videos about that, so well, I wonder what your entire thought process was
I
for that
mean,
video.
my thought process was kind of just like I wanted to try and expand kind of my audience because it's just like art psychology stuff. And I was really surprised why it did so bad because my other videos on TikTok have only done like 1,000 views, and altogether I think that one did like 13 to 15,000 views,
Right.
which is a lot better. It's not like amazing, but I don't know. I tried posting it on different channels, and I don't know. It's just not clicking for some reason. I don't know why.
What's the click through rate, by the way?
It's probably pretty low, but sometimes it's weird because like a lot of my popular videos, the click-through rate was only like 3%. Yeah, the click-through rate was 4.1, which is about average for my videos. But for some reason, it just didn't, I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool. And what's the watch time, by the way, Justin?
It's 3.5 minutes.
Okay, so I'm showing it on screen right now. It's $1 versus 4 million vinyl collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great concept. I think the only thing you could have done better is maybe for the $1 one, the background could have been like dirt shit. You know what I mean? Like somewhere in
Oh,
India, a
right.
dirty
Yeah.
room. I think that would have been great contrast.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about trying to make another thumbnail for it. I might do that.
Are you able to thumbnail test?
Yeah. I usually do, but for that video, I just had that one thumbnail, so I didn't, but
Ah, nah, Justin, you
I
you got
definitely should
thumbnail.
have.
Yeah, 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 for sure. If anything, I would just repost it. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely repost
Yeah.
it. Like,
I'll
dude,
try, I have a video coming out soon that's like more towards my like psychology audience. So I'll probably try posting it kind of closer to that and see what it does. But the guy who does my scripts, he's kind of like the same audience. He did say that like maybe he thought that the audience didn't really line up with the video. Maybe that's why. But I guess I'll just have to test it again.
yeah. So, this is like super niche. So I'm sure like the people watching are not interested. But I think like a few things about that video. It's very similar to how it's edited. I think the sound effects could have been better. I think everything else is like fine. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. I'll definitely touch up on the thumbnail, have a thumbnail test going because it only helps. It literally only benefits. I'd
Right.
also, yeah, I mean, like that's it. Just like throw in sound effects, have a thumbnail test going, and it should do good. Honestly, that's how I see it. But
Yeah.
more importantly, Justin,
Yep.
what do you do? Okay, because a little relevant. I've been looking at Nintendo Switch 2, which I can't afford. I'm like, fuck, I really want that, man. If I had a normal job, I would just pick up more hours, but I don't have a
Yeah.
normal job. It's fluctuating. It fluctuates a lot. So I'm very curious what you do as like a career, a job.
Well, right now I don't do anything basically. I'm just waiting
Nice.
till yeah, I'm just waiting for my editing stuff to kick in. So I'm doing like a one-on-one mentorship, so it should be kind of like easy sailing, I guess. I don't know.
Could you tell me more about like the one-on-one mentorship? Like you're charging
Yeah,
people,
so
or Yeah, I'd love to know.
No, it's another guy, and he he just messaged me at school, and then we had a couple of calls, and it seemed like a pretty good fit. Like he's just coaching me. Like it's like a 90-day thing, which is kind of like the trend right now with courses, I guess. But uh, it's like part one is like learning how to edit, which we're kind of just breezing through because I already know a lot. But
Yeah.
I think the next part is like personal brand, and then the third part is like outreach and actually getting clients and stuff. So
And by the way, a lot of people online have a negative persona of people who do subscribe to courses. I don't
right,
I'm not a hater of courses at all. I think it actually makes sense, especially if it's niche information, right? So there's a lot of books
right,
that help you with a lot of big problems that everyone faces, so it's for a wider audience. But if it's for a small audience, it doesn't make sense to charge $20 for a very dense informational book for only 10 people, right? It just makes sense to charge a larger price. And
right.
I'm curious, do you think it's worth it? Like what's in
I,
there so far that you've learned?
uh, I think like we only had like two like calls for the course, but so far I think it's definitely worth it because a lot of the stuff I think the most useful part is the clarity that it brings because a lot of the stuff you learn on your own, you're kind of just putting pieces together of what other people say, kind of. You're just figuring it out on your own. But like when you have like somebody teaching it to you, it's like a lot more clear and just cutthroat and or not cutthroat, but just clear, concise, and you can really just start to put everything together.
And the reason why I asked that is I'm assuming YouTube is like a main priority of yours right now.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
one of the main priorities.
Nice. How about this? We'll touch back into YouTube. What are the other priorities you have?
Um, just YouTube editing, and I'm trying to go back into graphic design a little bit, but just like out of passion thing.
Are you so are you more passionate about YouTube or graphic design?
Uh, Definitely YouTube. Like graphic design, I had a big graphic design phase a couple years ago, but now it's just kind of like just whenever I decide to make graphics, but it is still pretty fun.
Okay, so I have multiple questions because
Okay.
I'm someone who likes YouTube, but here's the thing. Sometimes they get confused what passion is because people like to use it as like a flex, right? I'm very passionate about
Right.
something. Look at my nice watch. It's like the same tier of I know what I have in life, so I figured it out. So
Right.
sometimes it confuses me. So I was gonna say I'm passionate about YouTube. Fuck no, I'm not. I am not passionate about YouTube. But recently,
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot about YouTube, just trying to improve the craft and just grow more. Someone link the guy's channel in chat. Don't worry, I got you. Oh, wait, Justin, how about can you Internet Anarchist is in here?
Yeah, I can send it
Yeah, send it over. Send it over. No, I'm curious because I was wondering what your bottleneck was.
for my channel.
Yeah, or like what you think the bottleneck is.
I think it's just the ideas, really. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I feel like a lot of it is the bottleneck right now, but I don't know. I think it's a mix of like belief in the channel, also the editing, also ideation, but definitely not the scripting. Like that's the easiest part.
Right, because someone does it for you.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's kind of like the workflow is like he kind of acts just like a like almost ideas, like gets the rough draft, I take it and then I turn it into like a finished product, and it makes it a lot easier.
Oh, and is it like based on revenue sharing? Is it based on like payment?
Yeah, I pay him I pay him a flat rate and then like 50% of the video.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's a good amount.
yeah. It's I mean it's that way because my channel's small, but once the videos start growing, then that's definitely gonna
Yeah, I was like, no, I was literally
be
thinking, I
way
was
too
like,
much.
what if one video bangs to like a milli? So like,
Right. It's
you're,
funny because I actually got that from when you paid me for the video and you told me the $100
yeah,
plus
dude.
I don't yeah.
Dude,
And then
I was like,
copied that.
dude, you know what's funny? Well, during the editing part, so he edited one of my videos. It was like an isekai video. It actually performed like not
Yeah.
bad, right? It did like 40, 50,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
or excuse me, views. And I was like, shit. I sent you like 93 or 97, right?
Yeah.
Dude, because I was like, oh fuck! I literally didn't have $100 in my bank account to even send it to him, and it would have taken days to like transfer the
Right.
crypto over. I was like, fuck. So I told him that, yeah, bro, I'm sorry. But I was like,
Yeah.
but you know, Justin, you were really cool about it.
No, it's still because I it was more of a passion thing. It's pretty cool to like see how you made your videos and stuff. And it's also kind of funny because on your channel, I was just looking today, and the isekai video, like both of them are right next to each other if you sort by popular.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that isekai video was not out of passion; it was out of views, right? Like the first one I
Yeah,
did,
right,
it was like something I noticed where a lot of people like isekai, but it's more out of like a flaw in their own lives. But you know that's just like the
right.
video itself. So, so you said the two bottlenecks you believe is ideation and editing.
Yeah, more so editing though. Like that's like the Final Collection video that took me a really long time to edit. But it's also because it was like my first in the style, so I had to learn a lot more. But still, definitely editing.
Yeah, you know that's interesting because funny enough, Internet Anarchist might be in chat, might not. He was in chat, and it reminded me of another conversation. So I've done this before with a different YouTuber, and then Internet Anarchist joined the live stream, and that was another conversation we had where a lot of editors, a big bottleneck they have, or a big problem all of them face would be editing. It's like editing's a big problem. I need to
Yeah,
make it better, and for me, as you can tell with like my videos, there's like simply edited, right? There's not a lot of effort in terms
right.
of fancy visual effects because I don't want that to be the selling point of my channel, if that makes sense. I want like the
Yeah,
selling point to be my brand, if that makes sense. And yeah, you know that's something I've been thinking about as well because I'm trying to find an editor to edit my videos, but instead this time I learned my lesson. Instead of hiring someone who is American, it's more of finding someone who's in the Philippines, Africa, where they're much more cheap, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
I think I saw using some like what's that website called
Yeah,
again? It's
I'll
like
put you on. It's online
yeah.
jobs. It's online jobs. PH.
Oh, okay.
You gotta pay like 89 a month though. So
Uh,
I like speedrun it.
Also, that's why I used like I tried copying your style a little bit because it's so much easier to edit and it's also so much more like flowy for the videos.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah,
How are you feeling with like the YouTube process? How long have you been grinding towards it? Is there any
um,
external pressures that you feel?
not anymore. Now that I'm doing editing more, I feel like I'm kind of stepping away a little bit. But I don't know. I just don't know. I don't really know where the channel is going to go or where what I'm going to do with it. But I don't know. It's kind of like a.
Right.
It's just random.
How
You know
about
what I
an
mean?
ideal goal that happens? So I've been reading this book, and it more or less talks about manifestation, and it says like manifestation
Yeah.
is kind of dumb, right? Because a lot of people try to manifest the end goal, where okay, I'm going to end up in this house, I'm going to have this person as my wife. They're really manifesting the exact details of like the layout of the room, the items they want in that room. But it's like an easy mistake people fall for because it might come true, but they might not be manifesting it for themselves, right? Like they can't imagine themselves in that lifestyle. So it talks about that, and more or less, it's more of like a blip. You simply imagine what you want to happen, and then you cut back into how far you think into the future, and more of like the next day. How do I manifest to that level? But think about what I should be doing the next day. So I want you to follow that process where like ideally the YouTube works out. What situation are you specifically in? Not like a situation someone else is in, but what you're in, and then how to do it the next day.
So it's interesting because I'm kind of like already where I want to be in terms of my life, but it's
Nice.
just the money part has to catch up. So, and I have been I've always struggled with like working like on my YouTube channel consistently, but for some reason like the last month or so has been like I found a rhythm. Like I'll wake up, do like 4 hours or 2 hours, however much of like whatever I need to get done that day, and the rest of the day is kind of like whatever happens. Sometimes it's more work. Um, and I guess in an ideal scenario, that builds up to, I'm thinking more towards like community stuff. Like I've been posting more on my Instagram, like trying to collab with graphic designers and artists. Because I've been noticing that the big I think this is more of a, what was the word you use again? Like a hindrance, or like the bottleneck. That's what I was trying to think of. I think the biggest bottleneck with my channel is that like it's self-referential. So like I'm making art videos about my YouTube channel being the art, instead of having like actual art that I do and then making videos about that, which is kind of how I started my channel. But now it's just become more
Like,
one thing.
right. And I actually notice that as well with people who do self improvement, where the videos they make is very obviously for themselves. And do you think that's a problem? Because I actually don't think there's anything wrong with that per se.
I I think it does get to a point where like you run out of ideas that are like, or like sauce. Like for your videos, I guess I can explain it like this. I've always thought about it like this, where like say your top 3 videos, and for some reason I like looking at like most popular stuff,
Yeah, it makes
and like
sense.
each of your top 3 videos are like different kind of like, almost not really niches, but they're different like origin kind of things. They're almost different stories.
Right.
And I kind of think of it like that, where for me, like if I keep making videos over and over and over again just for my channel, it's all going to become, which it already kind of has, they're all the same like psychology art videos.
Okay.
And if I want to like expand my audience and make like another viral video or so, it's probably going to come from something that's unusual, like a different source of inspiration or a different story altogether, rather than just art and psychology. Like how you have like the self-improvement, like the addiction video, and then you have a Kodak Black like meme kind of video,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
have like a real like psychology Gen Z woman kind of thing.
Right.
It's all a
Yeah.
different story.
Yeah, and by the way, I think I think what's like cool with YouTube or in life in general is that you could there's no one set path to do anything, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason why my videos, if you search by most popular, like they're completely random. There's no correlation towards it, which is actually like a bad thing if your goal is to grow. That's what literally Internet Anarchist told me. Is like, yeah, if you want to go faster, you
Yeah.
kind of got to niche down. I'm like, stick true to one niche. And I've been told that by like other YouTubers that have 1 million plus. So like, that's not the right way to do it, but I want to do it that way. And the only reason why I want to do it that way is because how long do I want to see myself doing this, right? Like, how fast do I want to grow? Because if I want to grow, then I'll just hop on TikTok and run it up to 100K, 1 million followers, which by the way, sounds like ego, but it's not, because I remember for a video, I was rage baiting people and I got like 2.5 million views in 7 days, okay? I also have like a TikTok account I make for my parents. I don't really try that much anymore. I just send it to an editor. She chops up like the videos, but I used to be very in-depth and hands-on where it would generate a few 100,000 views. I would spend like 30 minutes on per video. So like it's possible, but to grow fast, but that's not what I want, if that makes sense. Because I see people like Alex Hormozy, Joe Rogan, or Moist Critical, where their niches, not Alex Hormozy, but Joe Rogan, Moist Critical, their niches are so big. MMA, podcasting, philosophy, monkey, weeds, that's for Joe Rogan. Moist Critical is like video games, generic live streamer drama, and movies, right? Like that's his thing. And that's because it's based off of what they're actually interested in. So the things they talk about contains real substance. And that's what I see in my videos, or that's what I try to do. But I also realize that it's a very, very long game. And that's what I've been thinking about. It's because I remember talking to my parents like, yo, I dropped out. Can't do anything about it. I already dropped out. And during that conversation, they're like, okay. I was like, okay, 1 year. Give me 1 year. And a semester has been finished. So that means I have one more semester until I have to go back. But it's more or less my choice. I'm not forced to do anything, right? They're not forcing me to do anything. I get to choose. And the only reason why I mention all of this is because right now is like the time to apply for financial aid. Right now is the time to reapply to college. And it's like this thought in my head of, what do I do? Because it's a long-term play. Joe Rogan didn't make 100 million off of one Spotify contract in one day. They signed in a day, but it took him decades to even grow to that level. And that's what I'm talking about. My videos, they're very random, wild, out of the place. It's not the right way to do it if you want to grow fast. But yeah, I mention it because you were talking in a way as if I'm doing it right, or maybe that's just my ego that took it as a compliment.
I guess it's just because like I kind of have a similar goal with my YouTube channel where it's longevity, and so I kind of want to break out of the box of just like artist psychology, and also because like new topics are just fresher to your audience, so it's more likely to like do better, especially if you're like my audience is like all my videos are kind of same topic. This is something new might be a little fresh, and it might do better.
You know what's funny, Justin? I totally forgot you can't put links in chat.
Oh,
Yeah. And your Discord isn't updated. Hold up.
it's not.
Or your Discord doesn't have your YouTube linked.
Oh,
But I have it right here. So if you guys want to
okay.
check him
Well,
out, his name is just Justin Camp. Search up Justin Camp and he's the first pop up. So it's very quick, very easy. If you guys want to check out his videos.
I think it does have my YouTube. Maybe it's just not loading.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe. It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
And by the way, you told me that your life's in a good place. The only thing that you would like is money, which is a lot of people, but that's actually really good. I feel like a lot of people would go on and on about many things they don't like in life.
Right.
What are you grateful for? Or like, what are you grateful for?
I mean, I'm really grateful for like my art stuff specifically, because on a lot of also my channel, I realized my channel, a lot of artists don't like. It's not just about the ideas. It's like artists see it as like it's cool, and they look up to it because of the way I'm trying to build an audience. And I thought that was interesting, and I didn't really think about that or even how good my art is, like in terms of my graphics and stuff. Just I don't know. I'm just pretty appreciative of that, I guess.
You know what's funny? When I ask that question, most of the questions I ask is always open ended because I want the person to answer it however they want to, right?
Right.
And sometimes I have like an idea in my mind to guide the conversation. And I'm happy you answered art, but I was thinking of different aspects of life like health, relationships.
I mean, definitely my relationship too. That's good, but maybe not my health as much.
Oh, really? You look healthy.
Uh, I'm very healthy, but I mean, I don't know. It's not that bad, but I do wish I would like did more like sports. Like I used to play soccer a lot and stuff like that,
Do
and
you not have
tennis.
time to go exercise or?
I do. It's just I don't have anybody to like go with. You know, I used to go to the skate park a lot too, but I haven't gone in a while. And it's I mean actually I have gone recently, but it's just not as fun anymore, I guess.
Right. So I'm assuming your idea of exercise is more of like a social thing and sports rather than just like
Yeah.
weightlifting or doing push-ups by yourself, running by yourself is much more of a social thing. Is that because of how you grew up in high school or you were raised?
I think I'm just more of a social person. Like I do walk a lot, like just by myself, but it's like it gets boring very quickly. And I think I'm just like especially with my channel too, I want to do more like collabs and stuff because I think like I'm more motivated by social stuff than I am just by like grinding and the art and stuff like that.
You know, it's very interesting that you say you're motivated by social stuff because you've done YouTube for a while. Could you tell me? Because it's much, I would like to know how many years it's been. And more importantly, YouTube's kind of like a by yourself type of thing, no? Or at least for me, it
Yeah.
is.
But it's interesting because so I've been doing YouTube for 2.5 years, like at least on this channel. Before that, I started YouTube when I was a kid, but that was just like skits and stuff. But the first like videos that I did, and the first video like to really pop off was it was directed towards my friend who was an artist at the time, and it was like answering a lot of like problems that I saw in him and just putting it in video form, and it really popped off.
Really? It did? Like, tell me more.
Yeah. So I was doing like, I mean, this was inspired by him too. I was just doing like talking to the camera, maybe like short films, kind of, but like edited stuff. And then just I decided to change the video essay format because I don't know, it was just better, and I thought it would reach more people. Maybe I have no idea why I did it like that at this point, but I did, and I answered a lot of the questions. It was the pressure that'll end your art career is the video, and so in him I saw like it's a very obvious thing, but I saw that he was like just succumbing to the pressure of like being a great artist super young, and I guess it just resonated with more people, and it did really well.
So, this is a big question. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you like to view yourself as an artist. And because you are, or actually, you tell me.
Well, I used to view myself as an artist, like really concretely, and then around like this time last year, I started kind of getting away, and it's kind of like a curse because that artist like identity kind of comes with a lot of fantasy and like self-importance and stuff like that, which can be good, obviously. But for me, it was kind of a lot of negativity that came with that. But I don't really know what I see myself as anymore. I think probably the biggest thing is artist though. Still,
Where, what type of negativity did it, you said being an artist, come from? Like a sort of superiority where someone enjoys a movie differently from how you do, or a piece of graphic
just
design?
just like to the like just like ego stuff. Like I don't know how to directly explain it because it was a while ago that this is really affecting me, but it's just like performative where like you're letting it's kind of religion. It's like religion for some people, but where like you're holding onto a fantasy or an ideological perspective so tightly that that breaking it is like a psychotic episode almost because you're so like ingrained in that fantasy. And I felt like art was kind of holding me back that way because I wasn't able to like pivot to something else when I really wanted to or needed to. And I ended up doing that, which um, at that point I joined like a reading group that my friend was in for like psychology and stuff, and I was like probably one of the best things I could have done.
Wow. Okay, so a few questions, right? How did that reading group impact you? And this is a big one. So pick whatever is more interesting to you to answer. But as an artist, I think a lot of people who create content or even put anything out there for the world to judge, there is this mental side where are you trying to create the art to express yourself? Because that's what art is. In fashion, in music, it's like a method of self-expression. And a lot of artists get to the point where they try to also please other people for success and external validation. And I wonder, where do you fall?
So I'll answer this question first, so it's fresher in my mind. And I feel like I fall it's kind of all over the place sometimes, but right now at least, I feel like it's more about my own self-expression. Like even if I'm making like that Jack Pocket style video, it's more towards my curiosity of trying to figure out that style and how to make it. Um, and then for the reading group, um, it was just like a online like it was like kind of like a community for like people that read, and like they were trying to make like people move to Mexico and like be an
What the,
expat.
what?
And,
Wait, in your reading group, they're trying to get you guys to move to Mexico? Bro, that sounds like a
yep.
cult. Yeah, tell me more,
Yeah,
tell me
it
more.
kind of was. They sent me like when I was going because with my friend we were going for like just a couple days.
Wow,
They
okay.
sent me like a huge clock. They sent me like a ton of like they sent me a book. They sent me candles. They sent me clothes like to try and bring over
What the fuck? They
because
sent you robes? Did you say robes?
no clothes
Oh, I was like, holy shit, robes
because
and candles? Okay.
because to get to they lived on an island near Mexico, and to get Amazon to go there, like the fee is super expensive. So they sent me a ton of stuff to bring. But they sent me like this huge clock you can't fit in a suitcase. So I
Yeah.
ended up having to take it to some guy in Syracuse near me,
What
like an
the
hour
fuck?
and a
Wait,
half
no,
away.
no, hold on. Now wait, give me the whole rundown because
Yeah.
it literally
Uh,
does sound like something suspicious going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And
I
more or less,
mean,
like, you're here. So I wonder what made you not decide to go to Mexico. Because I was a part of, like, by the way, I was invited to go to, like, an MLM thing. And from my experience, they're very good. They're very good at manipulating people.
yeah. This guy, like the guy that ran it, he was like a big writer on the Red Pill subreddit from a while ago.
Okay.
But I never really like got into that stuff. But my one friend, uh, he was like into like the Red Pill and Patrice O'Neill and like people like that. Um, and so you have to write an essay to get in. And I tried to write one, I think like a year before, and it wasn't that good. And then once they needed like a video editor and a graphic designer, then my friend was like, "Oh, you should write an essay and get in." And so I wrote one, and I got in. And honestly, it was really good because the book they make you read, it's like a psychoanalysis, like even though a lot of it is it's like a psychoanalysis book. Even though a lot of it is kind of like dumb, I think now, or not as great, it definitely helped me in many ways. But the problem with them is like the main dude, he like is super salesy and he's just kind of weird. But the thing with that group is they make you like work for them,
For free.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it's just too much, and it's just really weird. Like we because we were going to move to Mexico, but then my friend was like, "Oh no, we can't do this because this is like that's way too much." And they're
Yeah.
sending us all this stuff, and so we ended up just going for 4 days, and we were supposed to take the boat from Playa del Carmen to Cozumel, which is where they were,
Yeah.
and we ended up like standing them up, so they had to come to us at the hotel, and the dudes are super weird. And in the subreddit or on the website, they're all like, "Oh, if I saw you, I would have punched you in the face. I would have done this." They were like calling us names and like psychoanalyzing us and stuff,
Whoa.
and it's like super weird. And then I ended up leaving the group because I just like felt good one day, and I just deleted my Telegram and like all this stuff. And then a couple months later, my friend texted me because I didn't really talk to him that much after that. But he texted me like showing me how it all fell apart and like all these guys like yelling at each other and like the whole thing blew up in everyone's faces. And so basically it doesn't even exist anymore.
Oh wow. Yeah. So it sounds like it wasn't that. It was definitely trying to be like a cult or at least MLM marketing
Yeah.
scheme, but the leaders weren't that good. So I'll give you a little bit more experience from my story. Most of the time, how they recruit people is they have someone who's already fell for it, right? They have a person that's
Right.
completely fell for it, and they use words in a very good way. So more or less, you want some dumb, stupid, vulnerable person who like is struggling in life. So when something bad happens, they're willing to fall for more stuff, right? So it's more
Right.
like someone wants a Nintendo Switch for a very good deal. So he really is willing to do a lot of things or even believe scams. Wow, they're selling this Nintendo Switch for $120. That's a really good deal. Then they get burned because they were so fixated on getting it. They're ignoring everything else. So that's usually what happens with MLM marketing schemes. And they tell you, or your friend, to, okay, so I want you guys to invite people, but not just anyone. I want you guys to invite people who are smart enough to see the real potential in what we're offering here. So that's how they word it. That's how they hire people and invite people into the scheme. And then this is the thing. The book you read is part of the process where they give you good information. All right? People don't just fall for it because everyone's always looking for, is this a scam? Is this the truth? Even with Apple, even with giant companies, and definitely with small time stuff. But how they introduce you is everything they give you initially is actually good advice, right? So they were talking about good shit. I'm like, okay, I actually agree with all of this. But at some points, once they have said everything that removes your false alarms, they start slipping in half truths that are kind of true. So, for example, they invited me out to go to this event, right? That's what they were describing it as. It's this big event, Rambo. This is a big event. And the whole thing was, it was me and my friend who was gullible enough, and my friend thought that I was dumb enough to fall for it, so I was undercover. And they're like, okay, so we're in California, we're gonna drive 3 hours to this giant event. It's like this big thing, everyone's going to be there. But I was like, I don't wanna drive. I don't wanna waste my gas to all of that. And I said, don't worry, bro, we're gonna go in a van with a group of people our age. I'm like, really? People our age? And my girlfriend's right there, but that's when I was single. So I was like, perfect. Let's do it, bro. That sounds like a good idea. Anyway, the whole van thing didn't fall through, so it was just me, him, and this lady, Asian lady. She's like 40 years old, literally reminds me of my mom. And during the entire car ride, my friend, he just fell asleep. So I was talking one-on-one with this other lady the entire time. I was like, hey, this is like a scam, right? It's like, you can just search it up. It's like an MLM scheme. And she was like, yeah, well, that's what everyone says. Okay, and I was slowly getting a glimpse of how they trick people. And once I arrived, right, I really tried to help her. I was like, this is not working out. And with her, she has like a very sad story where it has a theme among everyone there where they want money, they want a way out, and the people who are manipulating them are offering a way out. I think the story was she was tricked into going to college, right? Most of the time, college is a scam. And she was encouraged to go to college by many people. She took some random shit major, so no one cares. And then that major never got her a job. And then now she's been like working dead-end jobs, night shifts, all that kind of stuff just to survive. And then the MLM marketing scheme came in. They said, I will save you. And her parents, everyone, all of her friends are telling her that's a bad idea. But once you arrive to the giant event, which by the way, it's just one small little room packed with people who are wearing suits because they believe this is going to be a very big deal. Those people get on stage and they fucking spit ball. They're talking about, they're so persuasive. They're saying, but I'll cut it because I can't match their level of charisma. They're pretty much saying, I am really rich. Why would you listen to all your friends, your family, when they are not as rich as me? Doesn't it make more sense to listen to someone who is successful like Jeff Bezos? So already they're making comparisons to who they are, and they're making comparisons of people who they shouldn't listen to. So they're already like mentally staging everything. Anyway, I left. I was like, yeah, fuck that. I was like, okay, I had enough fun, I had enough time, and yeah, it's a sad story, but that's how they get people.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But by the way,
yeah.
Based on what I said, do you think that reading group you were a part of, like, did you meet the people and what were your interactions with them?
Well, I met two of the guys, and it was kind of the same story, but they were like a little weird. But they were friends from
High school?
college, I think.
Okay.
And so they went to Mexico, and they were like some of the main guys. And the whole thing was they were both like really bad. At least with my friend, like they were bad writers, bad marketers, bad video editors, bad everything.
Okay, cool.
And I remember we got a coffee at this one place, and there's this thing in the book called totemization, which is like, so there's totemization versus Copernican revolution, which doesn't really matter, but so it's like a big fancy word, I guess, is the most important thing. And so he goes like this is like the best part, I guess, of or like the inside joke me and my friend have. And so he's just talking about like the plan, and then he uses the word, and it's I don't know what he said exactly, but he just uses the word totemization, and they looked like this to see who was looking, to see if he was cool or whatever. It's like he's like that type of person, but.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Justin, how old are you? That's
I'm turning 21 in a couple of weeks.
Oh, cool. We're pretty much the same age. I'm 21. So, cool. Do you go to college?
No, I went for like half a semester.
Right.
And then I was like, I was trying to make a YouTube video and I like couldn't
Right.
focus at the same time, so I
Okay.
just stopped going.
Wow. Yeah. Wait. That was a very simple process. Like, did you drop out? Did you have to tell your parents or
Well,
anything? What happened there?
no, I just stopped going. But I mean, it was a big like it was like leading up to that, I guess, because I just didn't really like it at all. And so there's just one moment I was just like, no, I'm not going, and then I stopped going.
Okay. So a few questions. What specifically did you not like about it? And was there any external pressures for you to continue going?
I guess there was pressures, but like at that point, I think, so this was like the beginning of 2024. So it was basically a year and a half after I graduated was when I first went to college. And so I already kind of went through all the like, you need to go to college conversations. So at that point, it was just like, I'm going to college just to try it and to make sure like it's like, I don't know. But I think I'd definitely go in the future if it was a better college, but it's just a community college. So it's like, what I didn't like about it specifically was that I took I think it was an editing course, like an editing, it was an art or something degree.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff was just like really
Basic.
fundamental.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just didn't like it. It was like so boring.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with college itself, I think people forget that once you get the job at McDonald's, they train you, right? More or less, college
Yeah.
is like the degree to apply,
Right.
and then once you actually apply, that's where they actually train you for the job. So I think most courses at college, it's very fundamental. You can learn whatever
Right.
they're offering in a semester in 2 weeks, like honestly. But what were the pressures?
Um, I guess there's just a little bit still from like, I guess the main pressure was like, if I'm going to stop going, then this next couple of videos better work, or this YouTube channel better work.
Okay.
At the time was my thought process. Now it's a little different because I'm more used to like the empty space of like not having like a schedule or a structure or whatever. But at the time, I think it's a mix of that and probably my parents.
So I grew up with Asian parents, so the stereotypes are true. Okay, they're much more strict. So I wonder what their reaction was, or was there even a reaction? Did you have to tell them? It was like this big deal.
Um, I don't, I don't, I don't think it was really that big of a deal. I don't
Yo,
know.
no way. That's a completely different
Yeah.
life. That's so interesting.
Right.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
yeah, that's so cool. Cause honestly, I thought, generic, right? Stereotype. I thought that was an experience everyone has to go through. At the very least, when it comes to dropping out with the whole parent situation. Your parents seem open to the idea of not going to college, or how does that work?
Um, I guess, I guess it would be open, but it's kind of like a like, oh, one day he's gonna go, kind of thing.
Huh, that's so cool. And I was talking to someone else who also did not go to college, like a different YouTuber, and one of the big
Yeah.
problems they came across was now that you're no longer in school, which you've been in so long, there's always a set schedule for things to do. And then once there isn't a schedule for things to do, like summer, they just do whatever they want. But now that you're independent, how are you grappling with the idea of self discipline and telling yourself to do something?
I think at this point it's really easy because I don't know why, but like because for so long, I mean, I've always been pretty good with like work and discipline, and especially I think because I got a little lucky. Like right when I graduated college was when like all my editing stuff like
Graduate high
first
school?
took off. Yeah,
Okay.
that's when all my editing stuff really took off, and I was like editing super like I was editing all day like for many days in a row, like just for clients and stuff. And so I guess maybe that carries over to now where I'm able to just sit down and like not care about what I think and just do at least a little bit of work that I need to do for that day. But there's definitely a big period of time, like especially last year or the last year or so, where like it was really a struggle because I didn't really have any kind of purpose or like I didn't know where to go or what things would look like in the future.
That's very interesting. I've watched a few of your videos, and a lot of it is psychology based on making art and the psychology based on
Right.
like how people view you, how you should make art, right? There's like the stigma of not stealing. You should steal, you should not steal. And when talking to you, it's kind of cool that you don't really care about external pressures, or at least that's how I'm picking it up,
Yeah.
right?
I would
So,
say my videos are like kind of a like small section of my mind, I guess.
of course.
But yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Justin, you might be a little enlightened because a lot of people in life itself struggle with external pressures. That's why I ask about that question. And it's because like people care about how people view them, people care about like what their parents think. But for you, you're kind of free. Or I could be completely wrong. I'd love for you to tell me about it.
I, I mean, you got. I think you're right. Um, there is some stuff I'm still struggling with, like a lot of things, like new stuff, for example. Like I take so serious, or I think is so serious. Like like moving out, for example. Like I think it's so serious, but it's really not. Like it's just you just
You
get an
moved out?
apartment and you're done. No, not yet,
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
going to probably soon.
Really?
But
Tell me more. And I'm wondering, how are you making money, or are your parents funding like the moving out process? I wonder how it works.
um, well, my girlfriend's mom is going to co-sign, I think, and
Okay.
I'm going to have the editing stuff.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm
And you
just praying for
edit
that,
for
I
other
guess.
people, like clients?
Well, yeah, I used to, I will, and I will be pretty soon.
Oh, okay. And there's a lot of like alpha male, sigma male shit because you've been in the red pill, and they talk a lot about the 9 to 5. And my question to you is that
Right.
something you even care about? Do you care about escaping the 9 to 5? Are you okay with just like working, which I don't really have an opinion on. I'm just curious what you think.
That used to be a thing for me, I think. I don't really remember as much. I think more, though, for me, it's more about just my own curiosity. And I think a lot of it is about like what intrigues me. So, like my YouTube channel, for example, is way more exciting to me than a 9 to 5. Like, I was thinking about getting a job recently, but then the editing opportunity came in. I was like, maybe this is a little more exciting. Maybe this will work. So, I don't know. I don't think there's that much of pressure for me to like, or like that much ego to like be like, oh, I'm not gonna work a 9 to 5 or whatever. But
I like you, Justin. I actually really
yeah,
like that, man. I like that a lot.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
I fought
so
hard
I,
for that, man.
yeah, what's crazy? I'm sure this is something that pops up in your head, or maybe not at all, and
Yeah,
it's an even better question. But because there isn't a lot of like societal pressure, which is a bad thing for people's like internal mental health, but it could be a good thing externally in terms of like success. So I'm curious, is there any urgency for anything for you specifically?
so that's what I've been kind of figuring out how to do is how to like bring something, and that's with the social stuff too. Is trying to figure out goal into something that gives you pressure. So for me, it's like social stuff is what gives me more pressure to like work and more urgency. So that's what I've been kind of focusing on more recently is like getting my social stuff right, I
What
guess
what
is a
what
way to
is the
say it.
social stuff like? Being more social, like hanging out with more people?
Yeah, I guess I mean, the big thing is relationship, which is probably the easiest way to do it, I guess. But yeah, just social stuff. Like I've been posting on Instagram more, trying to, and just reaching out to people and stuff like that.
I'm still confused. I actually don't get the social goal. Like, you want to talk to more people, network more.
Uh, I don't think there's really a goal yet. It's just kind of like putting the cart before the horse kind of thing, where it's like if I start talking to more people, maybe like there'll be cool things like making collabs, like designing and just stuff like that, or like even like this, like the live stream. Like it's just cool stuff to do. That's just fun. It's kind of how I see it.
Oh no, I'm lost. I mean, just
No,
because no, just because like I haven't thought of it like that. Because at least for me, I try to not spend too much time around. I don't like correct like I'd love to hear your opinion about it, but in high school it was completely different. So in high school I would try to be very social, right? Because I realized it's a valuable skill to develop. For example, I did like 5 sports. I hung out with like every group of people just so I can get an understanding of culture, like what are the things that separate people based on culture and like what's a human thing, right? And at a certain point I realized, okay, I think that's enough in terms of developing my skills and learning. So I'm going to pull it back just because I value my time and I don't want to spend it towards people that wouldn't benefit me. So for example, you could be in a friend group and even like that cult, and there'd be like small little minute dramas. Oh, this person like this person. Oh, this person doesn't like this person. And because you're a part of it, you're swept into this problem of having to care. That's how I see it, and it's not beneficial unless there's like an actual benefit towards it, other than the social aspect. That's why I'm curious what you mean with like being social, because to me it seems like you would just create more problems.
I guess it depends, like, because I spent a long time in isolation, like the last couple of years, or so. But for me, at least now, it's I think I'm good at like not getting involved in like stuff. Like I'm always a little bit on the outside when I'm in places. I don't really know what else to say regarding that because to me it's just I don't know, it's just something to do and it's fun, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I hate to say it, right? But I'd love for you to tell me more. Like, what do you mean specifically? Like, it's fun. It's something to do. Why not drink?
Just because I don't really have an interest and it's I don't know, probably not productive, but I don't know. I haven't really thought about it like too much yet. But to me, it was just like I guess a survival thing. Like if I'm going to evolve, then I need to reintegrate back into the social scene. I guess trying to find my identity and like not get because it gives you a feel. At least for me, it gives me a feeling of like being left behind. Like I'm not
Right.
like I should try more.
Oh,
And I
okay,
think
okay. I'm
it gives me more
slowly.
energy.
I'm understanding it now. So you really meant it at the very beginning, where you realize there isn't a sense of urgency because you're free, right? So it's like a thing that comes
Right.
with enlightenment. So in Buddhism, even in like Christianity, which is like the only two things I know about. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not like religious in any of them. I do know more a little about Buddhism, but in Christianity, God was testing some guy and he was like going to sacrifice his wife or kids. And then God was like, I'm kidding. Good thing you believe in me. And the same
Yeah.
thing applies in real life with Buddha, where he was born as a prince and to achieve enlightenment, he had to not give a shit. So he didn't care about the kingdom he was supposed to rule over. He didn't care about his family. He didn't care about his dad, mom. I don't know if he has a wife or kid, but he definitely doesn't care about them because he lives under no obligation. And to others, people want you to care about them because if you care about them, in return, you will get something out of it. You can guilt them into getting something if they care about you. And I mention all of that because you don't, but it seems like you're trying to care or you're trying to put yourself in a position to care more about others, which doesn't matter if it's a good or bad thing. But I only mention that because I'm assuming your goal is to create more urgency, to do more in your life because you feel like you're not doing enough.
I don't know. I think that's the goal, but um, and that's what it seems to be. So I'll say yes. Yeah.
I don't think you should do it, in my opinion. Obviously,
No.
I'm not the guy, right? But, or at least like, there's nothing wrong with networking and talking to people because
Right.
this is why that's how I'm even able to connect with like other YouTubers. Like, you might not know them, but like Chold, Internet Anarchist, Noth. It's because I'm actively seeking a relationship. But in that context, it's not like, actually, is it more of you're trying to be friends with everyone, or is there like a certain goal in mind? Because like I'm talking to them for the sake of content, for the sake of like learning more about YouTube and talking about YouTube. So there's like a direct benefit there, right? Most people who are friends, not friends for the sake of friends, but they're friends out of circumstance. People are friends because they play games, they do drugs together. But if you take away YouTube, we'd be like, okay, we might not hang out. You take away the games, you take away the drugs, you take away all the activities people do. Most likely they're not friends. So I'm more curious about like your social aspect, like more specifically what the intention is.
I guess I guess to grow my brand, I guess. But I do have to say this too. Like this is like just happened pretty much the last couple days, so I still don't really have much of an idea
Oh, it's fresh.
specifically.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right. So
Right.
I'm just testing it out. I have been thinking though that like it is kind of just resistance. Like it's just kind of like there's no point. But sometimes it's good for me to just try. I guess because it's
No,
just
no, I agree.
unrestricted.
Life is hard, Justin. I think there's
Yeah.
like because I'm happy you reached out so we could even have this conversation, and that wouldn't have
Right.
happened if you didn't want to like have that social idea in your head. The only reason why I mention it is because I think it's like a good and bad thing, right? It's like a good thing that you're
Right.
trying to socialize with people. That's what I'm doing as well. But I don't know where like the intention is. I wonder if the intention is just talking to people, because there's a lot of people who have a goal in mind and there might be a bottleneck they're aware of, but they're choosing to avoid it and try to solve mini problems. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
there's overweight people. They do know that like just eat less, eat the right foods, the food that doesn't taste the best, and then there you go. Their solution is solved. But instead they'll be like, okay, well first I need like a gym buddy. I need to go to the gym with someone. That's very important. And then I also need to buy all these expensive stuff, but I don't have enough money. So I need to actually get a very high paying job to buy the expensive stuff, and then I can actually lose the weight. Right? People like put barricades in front of themselves to not get to the goal,
Right.
to feel like they're making progress. So I was just
This
curious
might
if go ahead.
this might help a lot, and this is an idea I've been noticing, or something I've been noticing, and an idea I've been thinking about is that a lot of times when there's like a lot of like energy being spawned in my life, like for example, like a lot of the stories that I post on my Instagram about like collaborations and stuff happened like right before my first call with the Norman. His name's Norman, like the editing guy for the mentorship. And I think a lot of it is just like because I have so much energy that I'm just trying to do as much as possible,
Right.
just to get the energy out there. And I think it's interesting how like even my channel, like there'll be like a rise in my life and there'll be a rise in my channel at the same time.
Okay.
And it's just something I've been noticing, which I don't think it has a reason for it. I think it's just energy, really.
Do you think that's a good thing?
No, probably not, because it's like an overcorrection from like not doing enough to then doing so much. And it's trying to find like the middle ground, you know?
Tell me more. You say right now you're doing a lot or too much.
Yeah, maybe a little too much, but um,
What are you doing
it
too much of?
depends. Like it's just like my one friend is he wants me to make cover art. There's a lot of collaborations, graphic design stuff
Yeah.
that I should be doing. I did a thumbnail, which I'm surprised is my first like thumbnail I made with AI, and it actually turned out really good.
AI
I
is
just needed
broken.
to
Yeah.
like prompt it right. Yeah. And then my YouTube and then the editing stuff too. So there's a
Yeah.
lot I'm kind of
Justin,
juggling.
by the way, I'm not a guy to like give advice or anything, right, Justin? But I feel like you
Yeah.
know the answer. Aren't you stretching yourself a bit too thin? If you're, by the way, we talked about this. If your main priority would be YouTube, why would you be spending so much time for other people, like
Right.
creating thumbnails and then music
Oh
covers?
yeah, and my channel and stuff.
Yeah, and your
Uh,
channel. That's like, by the way, that's three completely different skills. Like, I mean, obviously, being a
yeah.
good YouTuber is you're really good at one thing. So it's either, you're very good at music, and then you make a YouTube channel. So there's like a bunch of like old white men with like reviewing music, and then there's also like psychology people, video gamers. They do YouTube, right? So
Right.
I understand like being really skilled at one thing, golf, tennis, any sports, and then that allows you to showcase those skills online. It's easier. Obviously, you don't have to be skilled at anything, but yeah, I was like, it sounds like you are overworking yourself, especially when you say you have a lot of energy.
Yeah. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
No, is there a reason why the energy is not being put towards YouTube, but instead like towards other endeavors?
I guess it's just because I don't believe in it. and I just want to make money right now. But
Makes
also, I was
sense.
gonna say like, when I have a lot of energy like this, like I just can't help myself. Like I just do stuff without really thinking,
Yo, you got
and
ADHD or
then
something? What's going on?
probably yeah.
Bro,
but
that's funny.
yeah,
No, that's funny. Yeah, no, that's why I was mentioning like the whole manifesting thing is because obviously people get mood is something you can't control, right? It's like you can't really
right,
control how you feel when you wake up. Now, obviously you kind of can, but you get the point. You
yeah,
really cannot. Sometimes it just comes at you, and sometimes I'm in a bad mood. I've been in a bad mood for like a few days thinking about YouTube, and that's like the hard part because that's where like a lot of the doubt comes in, right? Should I start applying back to college? And what I always try to put myself into is the manifestation talk I was mentioning earlier in the conversation, where I try to imagine myself where I'm at the most successful. So I want to try this again with you. You told me everything is great so far except for the money. So let's say you tell me where the money is at, like what type of place you want to be in, what you're wasting your money on, because that's a good part about having money. You waste it on random stuff. So I want you to like really envision towards yourself, the audience, me, the ideal.
I don't. It's weird because the only thing that's popping into my head is like the apartment that I'm about to get. It's like I can't really think like I can't think of anything that I really want for like the future. I don't know.
No, that. So I'm curious. If anything, you have already what you want, right? You pretty much have everything you want in life.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think I don't know.
Then why put yourself in like more stress and make yourself more unhappy by being social?
I don't know. I guess it's just fun. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's.
No, that's cool.
I mean, the stress is like momentary. It's not like crazy stress, but
Stress is in like, the thing I talk about with friends where you have to care about their problems, especially.
right.
So I think this is what is poorly articulated when people talk about like the problem with 9 to 5s. There's inherently nothing wrong with working for money, but there is something morally wrong, which everyone knows. They just don't mention it because everyone participates in the moral badness, which is, let's say you get a really good job. You work at NVIDIA, they give you $1 million in stock a year, but nonetheless, even though you're getting paid a lot, which is great, there is that moral aspect where you're not working for yourself, you're working for someone else's agenda. And most of the time, big companies and their agenda is not good for the world, right? So that's like the moral aspect that isn't talked about in 9 to 5s. It's much more self-centered in the idea of you don't want to waste your time. You're working for other people. That's what captures the attention. And that's another problem with friends. You throw yourself in a very similar situation as 9 to 5s. And by the way, I think having a very strong, small circle is great. I'm talking about a list of friends, multiple friend groups. I think that's where problems start to arise. And I'm assuming that's what you were trying to do for the past few days.
That actually might make a lot of sense as to why I'm like super like multi-directional and like kind of bouncing back and forth. Is because I have like so many people I know from different like hobbies and talents or whatever that
Yeah.
like it's like segmented my mind, I guess, in a way, and
Oh
my
my
desires.
God. Justin, okay. Real question. Would you drop your day one friends if you make it?
I guess I already have, so yes.
Fuck yeah. Hey, I do the exact same thing. All right. And I
Yeah.
haven't even made it yet. And it's just because, you know, like there's a fundamental problem. Maybe that I've wanted to make a video about it, but I couldn't imagine a title and thumbnail for it. Maybe that's more of a reason to do it. So maybe this conversation is already beneficial for me. But there's, everyone hears the joke, like drop your day one friends. But the problem with that premise is that you shouldn't drop them, right? But why shouldn't you drop them? It's because of the social pressure that those day one friends put upon you that You shouldn't drop me because if you're successful and you're not going to give me anything, then I'm going to be pissed. They're using how you care about them, guilt, to pay, to literally financially give them money. And obviously, I give them money, like pay for my dinners, give me the experiences that I don't want to work for, right? So like, that's the fundamental idea, and it seems like you're kind of realizing it, where you have a lot of your interests. Would it be your interest or would it be your friend's interest, and you want to like belong or fit in?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like,
Right.
it's my interest to like maybe work on a thumbnail or a video, but it's also their interest because they reached out to me and actually put the idea into my mind.
Yeah.
So
Do you think? Do you think you need focus? Right? Because in my opinion, I've worked. Like I said, I did 5 sports. I worked like multiple fast food jobs, and I'm telling you, Justin, I can see why people last for like decades working at fast food. It's because it's a lot of fun. I can enjoy a
yeah,
lot of, we seem like the same people where we enjoy a lot of things in life, okay? If I had to do music, if I had to do fashion, I would enjoy it. If I had to do like animation, drawing, I would enjoy it just as much as I do YouTube. The only reason why I chose YouTube is because it aligned more with my goals. And my question to you is, I know you like doing it. I like doing a lot of shit too. But are you willing to like focus?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't have the answer for YouTube yet because I guess the answer is no, because I just don't see how I could turn my niche of
Yeah.
artists into like something sustainable long term, or like
T-
that actually grows.
Right, but we were literally just talking about the ideal, right? So
Right.
so like ideally, it does turn out well, where the YouTube
Yeah.
thing
Right.
is sustainable. By the way, is that what you want, or would you rather become like a designer?
I mean, honestly, I'd rather like do multiple things.
Okay.
I like balance. I guess not balancing, but having the opportunity to like have different seasons. I guess of
Yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah,
things,
yeah.
and I guess that's part of like how I see the editing is. It's like it's gonna support the evolution of my channel as well, because just better editing and also better like a big thing, like it's so obvious, but storytelling, like I never really got it, and now like it's a little easier to understand in my mind the importance of storytelling on YouTube and short form and whatever. And I think a lot of lessons like that come from editing and other
Hmm.
stuff. But
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, I don't think there's anything wrong with like doing multiple things at once. There's many people
right,
that do that, right? You can even look at YouTubers like KSI, where he does like random shit all the time. He's like he does music,
yeah,
then boxing, then he just does like generic YouTube stuff, owns a business, part of like a boy band. And yeah, that here's the thing, Justin. It's funny you say that because that's exactly what I want to do as well. Where I like vacationing. I love eating a lot of food. I'm a very complex, diverse guy, and I'm assuming there's like this need to express that.
yeah. It's probably I'd say so.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're a fucking artist, bro. Like every artist wants to like express themselves in the most like freeing way possible.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, yeah, I think nothing. I have my own path, and you have your own path. Is there anything you wanted to talk about before we end this?
I guess one like last comment about that is like I guess I'm just still forging my own path and trying to figure out how my personality aligns with like a place in the world, I guess, or even a place outside of the world. But
And that's something you can't decide yet because you're still finding
right, yeah,
who you are.
it's very frustrating. But
Nah, no, dude. If anything, bro, I think you're on the right path, especially if you're
yeah,
trying out so many things. Maybe there's one thing that stands out once you start trying them all out, or maybe you try everything out and you realize one thing shined brighter than everything else.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I guess I do agree. I'm definitely making moves on the right path, but it's still like I mean, the frustration is there, but it's like obviously I'm still enjoying the process and still it's very fun seeing how everything comes together, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the frustration you're getting is just coming from you actually trying, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, you won't get frustration if you don't try. Lovely conversation, Justin. I thought this was really fun. I'll ask
Yeah,
one more time.
definitely.
Anything else you wanted to ask or like end the statement off with before I end the live stream?
No, nothing particular. I think I covered everything I wanted to.
Cool.
At
Hey,
least I think
great,
of.
great conversation, Justin. Thank you for the Sora code. I'm definitely gonna use that.
Of course.
Wait, is it available? I checked your Instagram. You said it's available for everyone, or is it actually like a code?
There's still 2 left, but if it runs out, I do have another one that my friend gave me. If you want to use that, if it's gone.
No, I mean I'll try it out. I genuinely I
There's
opened
still
up
2 left.
I opened up the DMs. I was like, oh shit, did I leak it? So I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But it's fine if you don't want to give it to me. I did low key. Other than that, Justin, thank you for the conversation. I thought it was very fun, honestly.
Yeah, that was good.
Cool.
I like
Talk to you soon. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the mic drop moment for me, where it's the segmented mind thing. That was kind of cool.
No,
I
it
think
was.
to think about that more.
Yeah, it was. It was.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
Anyways.
like about talking. It really pushes your thoughts more than by yourself.
right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Bye, Justin. Hope you have a good rest of your
All right.
night.
You too. I'll see you.
All right, peace out, bro. Bye bye.